Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Homestuck.
Yeah, Homestuck. Also, you should share your screen so we can see what is going on.
Yeah, you know, that would be a good idea.
This is now an audiobook, and Jacob's reading everything to us.
This is now an audio. Shut up. Yippee! Yippee! Do we need a yippee counter?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I think
how
we
many
need
times
a-
I say it nowadays, we might as well.
I think we need to. How many times have we said motherfuck, or anything along those lines?
Just the
Mostly
word
you.
fuck.
Yeah.
Because my character says it every other word.
Alright. Be Scratch. You once again try to be Doc Scratch and fail spectacularly. You can't be him no matter how hard you try. It is impossible. In fact, I think it would be for the best if I commandeered the narrative completely for a while. I trust you won't mind if I speak in white. It's not actually negotiable, but as a courtesy, I will enclose my words between a pair of visually audible brackets. I am doing this because I can. Oh. I am also doing it because I am expecting a guest to arrive shortly. This should enable me to show the man the sort of hospitality he deserves, while doing the same for you. My apartment doesn't have a doorbell. Why would an omniscient fellow need to be alerted to the presence of a visitor? I know he will be right on time, which is to say, early. And if I did have a doorbell, you would have just witnessed it ring. He is already here. My door is not fitted with a peephole either. Those without eyes or without limits to their knowledge have no need for peeping, and I am without either. I have never once peeped at or through something, and doubt I ever will. Apertures built into physical surfaces to reveal what's hidden behind them are for those with particular handicaps. They are for those lacking advanced vision to render the opaque permeable to light, or those lacking advanced knowledge to render the concealed information irrelevant, or both. They are for people who I call suckers. I know the identity of anyone who stands behind this door, even in those cases where I have not extended an invitation to the visitor personally. Pardon me while I let Jack inside.
Oh, yeah.
Did
Oh,
you
yeah.
not
He's
believe it would be
back.
Jack? Who else would it be? Someone who would have suspected anyone else is a person I would also describe as a sucker. Haha, hee hee, hoo hoo. Hello, Slick. Won't you please Oh, for heaven's sake.
But my guy's back.
Jack, stop it. Jack. Slick? Which would you prefer I call you? It's one of the strange points of uncertainty which surrounds you. Maybe it is that you don't particularly care. Your flair is for the plain and serviceable, isn't it? Not much of your vanity is tied up in a name, I'd guess. Not going to tell me? Fine, I won't tell you my name either. Well, I might, if you would just show some manners and stop hitting me with that ridiculous horse hitcher. I won't crack no matter how senseless the drubbing, if only it were that simple. You're not going to stop, are you? It will be very difficult to discuss our points of mutual interest like this. I was prepared to go about it in a civilized way, even though I knew very well I would spend the first several minutes of our meeting sitting on the floor while being flogged. I have even prepared a bowl of candy for you, which I know you will enjoy. Courtesy is important, Jack. Do you have anything at all to say? Any form of communication you care to attempt beyond the sound iron makes against my head repeatedly? No, of course not. What's this? I see. You think you already know my name. You do not know my real name, Jack, just as none of your adversaries on this planet know yours. You only know my nickname. It's a good nickname, too, befitting of the passive gunslinger charged with initiating the break. I am my master's weapon, his soldier in a war of one bullet fired. But when that bullet clears the barrel, it won't be finger on the trigger. I'm a facilitator, not an assassin. Here. Jack, why don't you help yourself to some candy over there on the table? There's something I need to take care of before we continue. It won't be long.
It's just the dogs.
Yes, good. Placate yourself with the Scotty dog, Slick. My supply is bottomless. I am an excellent host. When I'm finished with this minor interruption, we will resume our gentlemanly negotiation. I will proceed to beat you severely until you agree to do what I ask. I trust you won't take it personally.
We just need to zoom in on Jack in the back dumping
Dumping the whole container in his hat.
It's infinite. What's the hat's gonna flood? What if his hat is an infinite story?
Now, please excuse me. I have to talk to a teenage girl from another universe. Be teenage girl from another universe. You cannot be a teenage girl from another universe because you are too busy being a teenage girl from this universe. You are busy being Rose Lalonde, completely preoccupied with it, in fact. So preoccupied you have been neglecting messages from some of your friends who are trying to contact you. But you have a lot of important stuff to do. You will get back to them later. Rose, Pester Informant.
It's quite warm here on Lohak. I think I've been patient enough.
When will I receive further instruction?
Now.
So, I could have contacted you any time?
No, only now.
I came away with the impression from our last conversation that our next would take place on your invitation. I was being polite by waiting.
Your inevitable impatience caused you to contact me again. Inevitability is my invitation.
That's pretty smug.
I am right to be smug. I am omniscient, extremely powerful, and very charming.
Well, 2 out of 3 isn't bad. Can you use your limitless intelligence to figure out which ones I mean?
That was clever. If I plead ignorance to the fact that you are denying my charisma, it invalidates my claim of omniscience. But if I must adhere to my all-knowing status, it forces me to validate the unfortunate reality that you are feigning the opinion that my demeanor is unpalatable. Not that it matters, because I have all 3 qualities and you know it.
This is stupid. Can we get to the point?
Yes, I was about to say, we should hurry this along. My visitor is beginning to set things on fire.
You have a visitor? Who?
Some guy. I was joking anyway. I'm not in a hurry at all.
Do you tell jokes?
Yes. Haha.
So, your visitor isn't setting anything on fire then?
Oh, he most definitely is. Hehe.
I'm really not getting this joke.
I was joking about being in a hurry. From my perspective, this conversation is taking place in less than 1 second. I type very quickly. Hoo-hoo.
I thought you didn't lie. Aren't jokes essentially humorous lies? At least, those like the ones you just attempted.
Jokes are only temporary lies. If the falsehood is never exposed, there is no punchline. If the punchline is never delivered, the lie is sealed forever, regardless of initial humorous intent. Lies are not funny.
I think if you're going to risk tarnishing your record of honesty, you should probably get better material.
My joke was objectively funny. Who would know better than I?
Okay, so you're saying an inaccurate statement doesn't count as a lie as long as you say just kidding later?
Basically.
What if it's much later? Is it still just a joke?
No, that would be something closer to a prank. I don't play pranks very often.
Are you allowed to lie about playing pranks? If I asked you if you were playing a prank on me, would you tell the truth?
I am allowed to do whatever I want. I choose never to lie. I also choose to tell jokes now and then, and to play pranks quite sparingly. But I can say that I've never played a prank on you, and no statement I've made to you thus far, or will make in this conversation, will contain any trace of falsehood for the sake of setting up a joke or a prank, with the exception of the joke I just made and another one I will make very soon.
I'm starting to change my mind.
Oh?
Yes, I think your joke was funny in retrospect. Actually, your whole shtick is pretty good. I'm warming up to it.
Yes, I knew it.
Just to be clear, was the assurance that you just made a prank or a joke?
It was neither. It was the truth.
Was that
Yes.
the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Were you serious about wanting to die?
Yes.
Why?
I'll tell you later.
Why?
Because you asked.
But why not now?
Because that piece of information would not fit elegantly into the sequence of our exchange at the moment.
Then you know how this entire conversation will go?
Yes.
Is that true of all conversations you have?
Yes, until briefly I don't, but the dark spots never last long. The truth disguises itself to me sometimes, which can be mildly frustrating, but it usually reveals itself quickly, much as if a punchline was delivered. It's a humorous dialogue I have with reality, and it is very amusing.
Then why do you bother with the conversations? Obligation to predestination as usual?
There is no obligation. It's a pleasure.
It is?
I've always had a soft spot for young ladies.
That's a little creepy.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It kind of is.
I have looked into the future and determined that we would continue in this manner pointlessly for some time, so I'm putting an end to it here.
That doesn't make sense. Was that the other joke?
Yes.
Good one.
Thank you.
How young are the ladies you typically take a shining to? And does this mean you're attracted to me? Suddenly this conversation is kind of terrible.
Of course I am not. Not in the way you mean. And anyway, you are applying standards of conduct frowned upon for your kind, which make no sense to apply to me. I am an immortal entity with a large cue ball for a head and no biological means of reproduction.
Really?
Also, if you were millions of years old, you would find that nearly every lady you encounter is quite young, relatively speaking. There should be no reason for you to feel uncomfortable with this interaction. Try to think of me as one of your kindly human uncle figures. In fact, if I were in your presence now, I would offer you candy to prove it.
Oh my god.
What?
Can we talk about the scratch instead of this?
Yes. You are situated near the game constructs applied by your session for causing the scratch, yes?
Are you actually asking?
No, that was a fact, and then a question mark.
Well, yes, I am. It's a large plateau shaped like a record. It's called the Beat Mesa.
I know.
Is the game construct different in other sessions?
Yes, it will always be an edifice of similarly cryptic design, located on the planet that is home to the hero of time. Its environment dictates the nature of its construction. Its power is dangerous, and is meant to be utilized only in emergencies, such as yours.
You mean in sessions where victory is no longer possible?
Yes.
Due to recreating an unstoppable adversary who triggers the reckoning prematurely? Is that sort of an emergency common?
No. Failure is common, but the composition of yours is quite atypical.
Okay, then it's like a panic button for the players who push once they realize the cause is lost.
Yes, but causing the scratch is not an easy task either. The construct must be destroyed in a very specific way to release its energy. The keeper of my ectobiological father began the process. It must be finished.
Who?
The guardian of the night of time.
Dave's bro.
Yes.
How do I finish it?
You don't. Not you personally. Another will. You have something more important to attend to, remember?
Oh, right. The green. Wait. The green sun.
Yes.
I'd planned to take care of that later once John had retrieved the tumor. Wait. See. Whatever.
Your plan will have to change. You aren't ready to cause the scratch yet. Like I said, it's difficult.
What will the one who doesn't have to do? I should let them know.
He will have to scratch the surface of the plateau across its full diameter.
I see. This terminology can be very literal sometimes.
You will require a certain needle to create a breach in the surface that will be adequate.
I have needles.
Your needles won't suffice.
Then where do I get ones that will?
Again, you won't. This task is out of your hands. The needles must be acquired from the denizen of the Witch of Space. Her quills are very large and potent. They will be able to cause the scratch.
This really seems more elaborate than you lead me to believe.
I didn't lead you to believe anything. I told you to find the construct and wait advisement on the scratch. The plans you were making were based on assumptions and fabrications of your imagination. You were writing more stories, much like those about your false magical men.
I wish what I'd written in my private journals could be confined to your dark spots.
I don't. I find your stories entertaining.
You're being creepy again.
No, I'm not. Besides, the White King agrees with me.
What?
For a seer, your vision of events surrounding you is rather limited. It's charming.
Just please stop complimenting me.
No.
Fine. Then please at least try to sound more sarcastic when you do it.
Oh, sure. I am really going to do that. Yes, very likely.
Then the scratch will be implemented later, by either John or Dave, I presume? You used a male pronoun.
Yes.
I guess it makes sense that it would happen later. My understanding is that Jack will not be banished from the session until near the end of the reckoning.
Yes, Jack will exit your session later, but this has nothing to do with the scratch. Not directly, as you imply.
I don't understand. I thought that was the point of the scratch, to open a rift in space-time, as it were, and banish him into the troll session.
No, that is not the purpose of the scratch at all. The scratch does not open a rift in space-time.
Then why have you directed me to cause it? Does it have something to do with enabling you to die?
No, not directly. The scratch has nothing more to do with my death than any other single event ultimately contributing to my demise.
I think it's disingenuous for you to behave as if you have not been misled. Or as if I have not been misled. You say you don't lie, but what about lies of omission?
Lies of omission do not exist. The concept is a very human one. It is the product of your story writing again. You've written a story about the truth, making emotional demands of it, and in particular of those in possession of it. Your demands are based on a feeling of entitlement to the facts, which is very childish. You can never know all of the facts. Only I can. And since it's impossible for me to reveal all facts to you, it is my discretion alone that decides which facts will be revealed in the finite time we have. If I do not volunteer information you deem critical to your fate, it possibly means that I'm a scoundrel, but it does not mean that I'm a liar, and it certainly means you did not ask the right questions. One can make either true statements or false statements about reality. All of the statements I make are true. Why do I recognize that line?
Unless you're joking.
Yes,
Haha, hee hee, hoo hoo.
exactly.
Then I guess I'll start asking better questions.
Good. I will make a seer of you yet.
Will you?
Yes, you can start by shoring up the reliability of your sources. You proceed to question me, believing you understood the purpose of the scratch. You received your information about it from trolls. I assure you that in most ways the trolls are as confused about everything as you are.
Okay, noted. What exactly does the scratch do then?
It resets the game.
Oh, that's it?
Yes.
Then we all start from the beginning again, when John entered?
No. The release of temporal energy will be quite massive. This is a hard reset. It will reboot the conditions in your universe well before you began playing the game. You will have lived different lives after the reset. The different initial conditions will ideally lead to a more favorable scenario in the new session. Unfortunately, you will have no memory of anything that has happened in the session you are in now.
What will happen to us? Everyone in the session now?
You all cease to exist completely if you remain here during the scratch.
This seems familiar. It reminds me of when Dave and I were trapped in the doomed timeline and he left to change the past. The timeline ceased to exist, along with my dream self, who, in a way, became merged with my dream self of this timeline. I kept some of her memories. Is the situation similar?
Similar, but more severe. Since this timeline will undergo such a violent upheaval, such a merger of memory cannot happen. You will be resigned to absolute oblivion, unless you can discover a way to preserve yourselves. But it's not really my place to advise you on that. After you have dealt with the Scratch and the Sun, what happens to you is not any of my business.
Then, can you at least tell me if we will be successful in preserving ourselves after the reset?
I don't particularly enjoy spoiling things for people when unnecessary. I find speaking in a discreet color helps avoid this.
So, if the scratch isn't specifically meant to banish Jack from the session, and our quest to destroy the sun is meant to kill him, why is the reset necessary at all, especially if it means oblivion for us?
Because you cannot achieve the ultimate reward in this session. Your battlefield is cancerous, and the Reckoning will destroy it prematurely regardless. By resetting, you will create a session which can bear the fruit of a new universe, even if you will not be the ones to claim the reward. Don't you want to fulfill your purpose?
I guess, but it's a little disheartening to learn I'm now faced with not one, but two suicide missions at once. One to destroy Jack's power source and defend all of existence, and another to ensure a cosmic purgatory at the price of oblivion.
That frames the dual objectives accurately, but if you are inventive, you may find a way to survive the reset and participate in the renewed session. It's up to you. Just as it's up to you to face the decision to claim immortality before you enter your creation.
Immortality?
Yes.
Do you mean ascending to God tier?
Yes.
I have reason to believe that I won't. The trolls have not indicated I will die on my quest bed, or that any of us will aside from John. Instead, I've been given a more troubling and ambiguous forecast.
What have I said about confirming the reliability of your sources?
Are you saying I will?
No.
Oh, well, will I?
It seems you'd like me to do some more fortune-telling.
Fine. Maybe this question will suit you better. Is it possible? Probable.
That's a strange question to ask someone who is omniscient, and therefore knows outcomes with 100% certainty. I like it.
Then what's your answer?
You have exactly a 50% chance of ascending to the god tier.
That's a strange answer.
I know.
Why such a precise probability?
Because, much like the decisions you must face to complete your dual suicide missions, you have two ways of achieving godhood to choose from.
Two ways? By dying on the quest bed on my planet, in some other way?
Yes.
Is there another quest bed somewhere?
Yes, good guess, Seer.
Where?
What difference does it make? You already know where the first one is. You have the choice to go there right now and take your own life.
That's true.
Of course it is.
You mentioned immortality. Godhood makes you immortal?
Yes.
The god tier will live forever, with no caveats.
No, one will live forever unless killed. The death must be either heroic or just.
How are those terms defined?
Broadly, mysteriously, and according to the case of the individual. One may be killed by opposing a corrupt adversary and die for a just cause, as through martyrdom, for instance. This would be heroic. Or one may be subject to corruption and slain by a hero. This would be just.
Which sort of death will you have when I destroy the sun?
Neither. I'm not a god. I'm a guardian, a servant, and a weapon. I have power and knowledge far surpassing a god, but I am not one.
Is this when you were going to tell me why you want to die?
Yes.
I sense it's not just because you're getting bored with immortality.
That's good. Your vision is becoming clearer.
Then why?
My master can't enter this universe until I am killed. Such is the nature of the break.
That almost sounds like martyrdom. Are you sure it won't be a hero's death?
Quite sure. My master is a very evil man.
Who is he?
I can't tell you his name, but he goes by the title Lord English.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That doesn't sound like a especially admirable objective. Releasing an evil man who is presumably more powerful than you, and an already omnipotent being. Am I right?
You are right about both. It is not admirable, and he is considerably more powerful. But you must decide which objective is more important. You may decide to attempt to destroy the sun and end my life. This will neutralize Jack, who is also much more powerful and dangerous than myself by virtue of the ring he wears, in addition to drawing energy from the same sun as I. He poses a significant threat to reality.
But in the process of killing him and you, I release your master, who is just as deadly?
He's more deadly, but the danger he poses is sanctioned by paradox space. It is a known quantity. His very existence in a universe will mean it will inevitably be torn apart. But there are rules to his entry, and his grim procession through paradox space is rather orderly. The present equilibrium has accounted for him, and will continue to. Jack, however, is a loose cannon. He will not stop until he destroys everything he encounters. Additionally, his existence is your responsibility.
Then, I guess I don't have a choice.
You do, but also know this. Refusing to venture out to destroy the sun in no way spares anyone from my master regardless. It is certainly true that destroying it will end my life, and it is certainly true that the tumor you will deliver to its location has enough power to destroy it completely. But it is not the only way to kill me. It is simply a way I have suggested to you, which doubles as a way to disarm Jack, should you choose to go through with it. Instances of myself have spawned in countless universes, and my objective is always the same. I have never once failed to complete this objective, and I never will. There is nothing noble about taking a course of action you believe would prevent his arrival, because that is impossible. He will come. In fact, he is already here.
Are you saying that I will succeed in the mission to destroy the sun?
Are you asking for another palm reading? You seem rather keen on acquiring a fortune from me, considering you are the one with the crystal ball.
I'm just trying to ask as many questions as I can. It's the only way to find the dark spots in your obstinacy.
I've been very helpful, and I will continue to be. I myself do not care to be an oracle, but I can graciously supply you with one.
Can you?
An eager consort has brought you one of my seeds. It appears you have amassed followers who wish to please you. How fortuitous.
Your seeds.
The white orb.
Oh, the cue ball. How did I not notice this?
It will accurately answer any question a curious girl can pose, provided she can see through the surface to read its reply.
Is that possible?
Is it, Seer? Given your title and all the tools of prognostication at your disposal, it seems to me I should be the one asking you the questions.
How can I see through it?
It seems you weren't listening, so I'll state this again in the form of a question. Don't you think I should be asking the questions from now on?
Yes, if you wanted to be disingenuous and irritating.
Don't you think a clever person should be able to acquire information from someone who only asks questions?
Then it's a challenge. I pass.
Do you have a choice? What if I'm feeling a bit stubborn?
Okay, so what you mean is I should continue humoring your leading question until you happen to ask certain rhetorical questions that contain information I need.
Was that a question?
That was a fact. And then a period.
How does a seer see?
With the crystal ball? I already considered that. I don't think I can get the focus of the ball to zoom in tight enough on the cue ball's enclosure to read the answers.
How else does she see?
By other magical means, I guess. Should I use magic?
Do you believe in magic?
Magic is real. I've been using it.
Are you sure?
Use whatever word you want to describe it. I have magic wands. They are very powerful, and they allow me to be magic. Your questions are silly.
What makes you convinced the wands are responsible for your abilities?
Because I did not have the abilities before I made them.
Could this be circumstantial?
Could it?
Is there an echo?
Is there an echo?
Hehe.
I don't know what you're getting at. How about another leading question?
What did you combine to make those wands?
Some stuff.
Knitting needles? An inexpensive figurine of some fictional fellow with long whiskers? A simple textbook on the zoologically dubious? Why would this mundane combination of objects grant a child such an alarming mastery over dark forces all at once?
I'm guessing this is one of the rhetorical questions meant to be informative. So then, my answer should affirm how ridiculous that sounds, shouldn't it?
Maybe.
That wasn't even a question.
Yes, it was.
Okay, magic is fake, the wands are useless toys, and there's something else going on. Next question.
Would it be so difficult to believe the power you found to devastate your planet and create shortcuts through your session is not entirely by your own device? Would it be so difficult to believe a young lady could be unwittingly apprenticed by more powerful entities who meant her potential to be realized later through some arbitrary trigger? What would you say if I said a dutiful girl raised in the daylight was protected by a bulb-headed guardian and learned to glow in the dark after death? What would you say if I said a vengeful boy on a path of nihilism was taken under the wings of fearsome angels and learned to destroy hope with their light? What would you say if I said a reserved girl enamored by what dwelt in shadow was selected by the horror terrors for service and did their bidding at every step while convinced of her own autonomy?
What would I say to those short fables? Not much, except I gather the third is a story about me, and there's a lesson you'd like me to take from it. That I should renounce my allegiance before my grimdark corruption is absolute. While I'm at it, I should discard these useless wands because apparently the power was in my black little heart all along. Is that right?
Won't you have to give up your specimens to the one who causes the scratch regardless? How else will the young man wield that great big needle?
I don't know. If you say so.
Haven't your friends already shown concern for your recklessness and your increasing sense of detachment from the party, the team objectives, and not to mention those of your personal quest? Does this worry you? Is there a part of you left that's able to worry?
Yes, it has been mysteriously localized to my middle finger. Could the dark magics be at work again?
Do you deny that you have been neglecting incoming messages from your teammates? Would that be in keeping with the spirit of the human emotion of friendship for one whose soul was not so befouled by the designs of unknowable monstrosities?
Friendship isn't an emotion, numbnuts.
Isn't it, Rose? Isn't it?
I've been busy. I'll get back to them. And can we please stop doing the patronizing question thing? In exchange, I promise I will discontinue my patronizing responses.
Can the omniscient be patronized?
The omnipotent can do whatever they please. I guess I'm just asking you nicely to do me this favor.
Very well. I will stop smothering you with surprise noodles.
Huh?
But only because I find you to be adorable.
So creepy.
So cute.
Yuck.
I'm going to ask the same question I asked earlier. Please do not regard it as a violation of my pledge. It is just an ordinary question, like those that crop up in an ordinary conversation.
Okay.
How does a seer see?
I don't know.
Be literal.
With her eyes?
Take the orb. Ask it a question.
I don't know what to ask anymore. I'm confused.
What would you ask me?
I would ask what I should do next.
Then ask.
What should I do next?
Not me. The ball. Donk ass. Rose, ask. Oh, wait, hold up.
Isn't Doc just lovely?
Dear God. Answer, Jade. Rose, answer.
Shoot. Sorry for the delayed response. Answering seems to be what to do right now.
Rose, jeez, finally. You sure seem to be absorbed in whatever you were doing on that computer. Were you talking to someone?
Oh right, I forgot. I gave you the code for the crystal ball. And here I was thinking I could safely delay responding to messages without seeming like an ass. The way it usually works. Oops.
Oh, no. I don't blame you for not responding. You must be very upset. Are you okay?
Why would I be upset?
Because, I figured you would have found out by now, but I guess you still don't know.
Know what?
About John's dad and your mom? Rose? Hello? Oh, no.
Ah, I see.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Oh my god.
Rose, please say something. You're making me nervous.
I should have gone looking for her. Why didn't I?
Because you were busy trying to make the best of the situation?
John was too, but he went to look for his father. It would have been normal of me. I can't remember what I was trying to prove anymore.
I don't think you should be so hard on yourself about it. John was being John and you were being you, which I guess meant taking our problems very seriously and putting all your attention on solving them. And anyway, you and your mom had a much trickier relationship than John and his dad, didn't you? I mean, not that I'm saying that means you were any less attached to her than him. Ah, I don't know if I'm very good at consoling people. Sorry, Rose. I don't want to make you feel worse.
You're doing fine for someone raised by a dog. Or really anyone, thanks.
Whew. Okay, now we have a lot. Now we've all lost guardians. They've lost his, and I lost mine in a weird way. Even though that was pretty much definitely my fault. And even the trolls all lost their monster guardians. I think that maybe it is an inevitable part of the game that can be cruel sometimes.
For some reason, despite all the danger, I never thought she was in any trouble. I never believed she would actually die. I grew up with the feeling that something more significant had always been meant for her. That she was a heroine displaced in some way, resigned to the inglorious duty of raising me and preparing me in her way. I didn't actually need the ecto-biological verification that she was like a mother and a sister at the same time. I always understood that somehow. And I felt like she had knowledge and ability beyond what she let on. It was always intimidating, but nonetheless a source of respect, which was childishly begrudging on my part. I think I think she was just waiting for me to catch up with her, but now I can't.
I'm so sad. Rose, I think you're being stronger about it than I am.
Probably because my emotions have now seceded to anger. This shouldn't have happened.
Oh, well, I just hope you aren't thinking of doing something rash.
I already was. I was going to sleep. Fly to a sun bigger than our universe, drop a bomb in it, and kill myself.
Yeah.
So, if my course of action is to change on account of my mood, it can only become less impetuous, don't you think?
I don't know.
You never liked my plan very much anyway.
Well, no. But I was trusting that you had thought it through and it was our best hope.
I'm not sure if I did. Maybe it was a terrible plan. I made it without a full understanding of the nature of the scratch.
And what will you do?
I could stop being so cowardly for once. I could short circuit this endlessly expanding game of chess we're playing, just like Jack decided to do.
What does that mean?
Maybe I'll go kill Jack myself. Right now.
Oh, no. Rose, this is much, much worse plan. Probably kill you.
Probably. But the scratch will wipe us out anyway. The reboot and reboot the conditions of our session. I suddenly don't feel much like sneaking through the back door of the furthest ring for retribution by distant supernova.
I know what you mean. I was angry at Jack and wanted to stop him too. But we have to think of a more sensible way to do it.
Whether my existing plan was sensible or not, I may have been allowing myself to be manipulated by an omniscient being regardless.
What? Who?
Hello, ladies.
Ah, what?
This is a private conversation. Private even to those who know it word for word already.
Proceed. I will be here, watching.
Rose, who is this?
Ignore him.
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
You were discussing Miss Lalonde's intrepid new variation on suicide. As one with a passion for the subject, I'm intrigued.
Shh. Anyway, if it's true the gods have selected me for service, maybe the power they've given me will be sufficient. Maybe they wanted me to kill him all along.
Shh. Please don't, Rose. I know you're angry, but you aren't thinking straight.
But I am. I'm fully aware I'll probably die and fail. Scratch happens, we start fresh. No recollection, no problem.
Jade,
No!
as an ambassador of Skya, maybe you'd be willing to talk some sense into your friend. You should understand she's been corrupted by various entities with some rather questionable motives.
Rose, maybe White Text Guy is right. The Dark Gods gave you all these powers and seem to be helping us with dream bubbles and stuff. But what if they are not actually God? Or good?
They are enormous, ugly, and live in darkness. That doesn't necessarily make them bad.
No. But I still don't trust them.
If only there were a way to make this determination with certainty, through a reliable source within reach, for instance, at this exact moment. Perhaps one that is spherical and devastatingly handsome.
What is this weird Rose talking about?
The cue ball.
Oh yeah! I noticed you found it. I was worried it had been destroyed when my ring blew up. Is he saying you can use it?
Yes, and he is right.
Oh my god, does it work?
It advised me to talk to you just now, so I guess so.
Then maybe you should try it.
Yes, Rose, listen to Jade. She is far less manipulative than I.
Gross.
Horrible.
What are you suggesting I ask it?
Well, since we don't know much about the gods, why don't you ask it about them?
So, you're saying I should ask it if the gods are evil?
I guess that's a way to put it.
Even though, at this point, neither of you is highlighting my text to read it, this idea gets my vote. Go ahead. Ask, Seer. Seer, ask.
Toby Radiation Fox.
Yeah. For the record, I want to point it out. This is a mod for the unofficial Homestuck collection. Apparently, this goes unused on the normal version of this animation.
So there's just no sound?
I think so. I haven't actually checked.
Odd.
I mean, I'm just happy, happy Spades buys. Slick's back. I love that guy.
Rose, go dark. You slip into the fabled Black Death trance of the Woe Gothics, quaking all the while in the blood-eldritch throes of the Broodfester tongues. You advise the members of your complacency not to be alarmed, as they chronicle the event in tomes bound in the tanned, writhing flesh of a tortured hell scholar, with runes stroked in the black tears bled from the corruption-weary eyes of 50,000 imaginary occultists. But they fail to not be alarmed. This is because, as is now painfully obvious to anyone with a brain, you have basically gone completely off the deep end in every way. You have officially gone grimdark. Rose, resist urge to seek revenge. You make a half-hearted attempt to resist the urge. Alas, one is not easily shaken from the Broodfester tongues. They are stubborn throws. Big man, request timeout.
What?
All right,
My voice is
homies.
big man.
I think this is Hussy.
It's Hussy.
Yeah.
All right, homies, everybody, all y'all hold up. The big man wants to take a timeout. BM, wreck some havoc. The big man's about to wreck some havoc in the yard. The court is on fire. BM, request ruler. Dude, come get the ruler. Check this out. Dude, hurry. Look, she's escaping from above. Okay, dude, no. Okay, how am I going to wreck some havoc in the yard with a meter, you chump ass? Again with the metric system, what is it even with you and units, man? It's like you must be toking up on a joint to make you stoned or something. I can't even think of who leaves all their rings lying around like that.
If you look up the definition of total whiplash in the dictionary, Homestuck would appear.
It is so infuriating. Shit, where's the manager? Dude, no, let me show you. No, fuck, no, dude, you gotta snap it broke ways.
Snap it broke ways.
Splimpers. I was at the point where you got distracted by the author's hot self-insert. Who were you expecting? The Easter Bunny? You probably want to know how involved the big man wants to get into the story. How much will he fuck this up? Well, all I've got to say to that is, whoof want to know?
I
want
need
to
his
know.
brain cells.
I want to know. Tell me, and
I
please
want
be
to
smug about it. Alright, as the
Oh my
indulgent
God.
self-inserts grow
What
in
is-
frequency, you may find yourself increasingly afraid that my direct interference with canonical events approaches inevitability. But you should understand that I am dealing with forces which, if handled recklessly, will nullify the basic ability of intelligent beings in all real and hypothetical planes of existence to give a shit. It would be stupid of me to mismanage these forces, and even stupider of you to worry about it, because it would be stupid for you to think I was stupid. In fact, I feel a little dumber just thinking about it. When the time comes, I will interact directly with the events of this narrative, but this moment will be responsibly confined to a passive intervention. It will be compact, surgical, and essential. My involvement will have such precision I have even managed to quantify it in units of physical measurement. I will be involved in only the narrow corridor of space through which light will pass in 3 nanoseconds. My window of influence, end to end, will be exactly 1 yard. Okay.
That is simultaneously the most comprehensible and least comprehensible text of Sweet Bro and Hella Jack.
Okay, anyway, let's
Yeah.
get back to John.
That is some real deep fried text right there. That's some PNG compression. That's some awful compression.
John, locate tumor. Who am I echoing through? It's you, Raven.
What the heck? Ah! Turn down the volume. Wrong volume. Boop, boop. Is it better?
Seems like it.
I love the author's note. That was all such an inexcusable pile of trash.
It becomes refreshing to get back to some nice art depicting some highly intriguing, previously unknown fixtures of lore.
In
John,
the last
look
one, he was
around.
talking about talking to like the fictional character.
Interesting. John, look inside. John, take tumor.
Okay then.
He did it.
John, return
Good,
to
he put it in
surface.
the wallet. He didn't put it in his stupid modus.
It seems like
Imagine-
the wallet modus specifically has no limit on the size of things it can pick up.
Imagine if it was just a normal modus, and then he just like had to move stuff around, and then all of a sudden the tumor gets ejected into space.
Oh my god.
It is
There
a
it goes.
bomb.
It's like,
CD, approach locals. You and your rabbit friend approach a gentleman wrapped in a fine white cloth and his courageous cohort, a young man riding a great gust of wind. You were so impressed you forget what you were supposed to be doing. John, reunite with Liv Tyler. Sweet, precious, beautiful Liv Tyler. You thought you'd lost her forever, just like Bruce Willis did when he blew himself up with a nuclear bomb in the center of an asteroid the size of Texas. His heroism and fatherly pride were also the size of Texas. But your love for Liv is not fatherly. Oh no. This reunion is with no loving daughter, but a loving movie star fantasy crush, who happens to be in the form of a robot bunny which has traveled through time and been given as a gift on 5 separate occasions, twice by you and thrice to you, and originally fished out of a sewer by Nicolas Cage on the silver screen. You forget the point you were supposed to be making. But you wonder where all of her sweet weapons went. She indicates in the language of plush toy pantomime that she has no idea. They all blew away in the breeze. John, retrieve tiny hammer. This tiny hammer is so ridiculous. It's too bad it is not the right size. You would love to wallop some imps with such a fanciful weapon. You guess you could just go around giving them little bops on the head with it, like a silly gavel. No, that would be too absurd even for a great prankster like you. You will discard this rubbish immediately. Wait, what is this? Miss Tyler is handing you a note.
Oh god, okay. John, one more thing. This rabbit, I'm sure you've noticed, is armed with these stitches. He's got all 4 of the funny little weapons I mentioned. They're all deadly as the fucking Dickens, but that doesn't mean they are meant exclusively for the paws of Mr. Terry Kaiser. Just a good name I call it. No. You see, I adapted Terry with some doodads to make it practical. An infinitesimator, which I use to littlify them down to first place, as well as a monstrositifier for when you would like to hugen them up and wield them yourself. You surely got enough juice in them to make them enormous if you wish. That's silly. What would you even do with, say, a magic needle the size of a skyscraper, for instance?
Yeah, I wonder.
Preposterous. I borrowed this technology from my grandmother, who had quite the way with manipulating space. Legend tells she was something of a witch with that stuff. Once she was a brave girl like you and I, John, and the stars themselves twinkled in her cauldron. I would like to tell you who my grandmother is. I really would, but I can't. I think I have trouble keeping secrets. I like to be honest, just like you, and a lot of secrecy after a while gets me feeling a bit jaded. Green means grow, red means shrink. See you soon, pal. Yeah.
Grandmother? You wonder who that could be. It's probably just Jade, what with all the time shenanigans. John, Hugen Hammer. You got the Warhammer of Zillyhoo. All. Behold glory of Zillyhoo.
What is this song?
Why does this remind me of the Halo?
Because it's a chorus. That is literally it.
Oh no.
Okay, cool.
It has a face.
Glorious.
You were so delighted by your rad new hammer and the cool hugening abilities of Liv Tyler or Terry Kaiser or whatever his name. Who the hell is Terry Kaiser anyway? Probably a movie star from the future. Who cares though? Your bunny will be Liv for life. Hearts, hearts, hearts. You wonder what other neat things you can get Liv to monstrositify with her sweet eye beams. Wait, what happened to her green eye? Why is she feverishly gesticulating toward the fellow in the ghost sheets? This is so ridiculous. Can you not turn your back on these people to admire a beautiful hammer for even one moment? You think that is enough fooling around. It is time to get down to business again. The serious business of being an important and heroic leader.
Oh my god. WV. No.
At this point, we're reminded that WV eats green things. John.
Best character, WV.
Wear the hood. Be the leader. You are not their leader, you are their friend. There is a big difference. You prepare to issue your party a highly authoritative series of friendly requests. First, you request that everyone settle down. The squat fellow mediates between the two bickering parties and patches up Liv's missing eye. She is nothing if not accustomed to decades of repair work and quickly resumes her plucky demeanor. See, it all paid off in the end because I was able to conflate CD's suit with the corresponding quadrant involving the mediation of disputes. Quite an elegant solution to a problem which never existed, I'm sure you'll agree.
Glorious.
You then, in your most leaderly way, ask Liv to pilot that enormous battleship. She will now be known as Captain Tyler. She littlefies the ship down to something more manageable for a small bunny captain. Everyone is impressed. You give your wallet to your loyal chauffeur Familiar. He looks puzzled. You inform the party that you will not be going on this journey. You must remain behind and continue looking for your father. But you insist their mission is the most critical of all. You know they can handle it. You believe in them. You instruct Captain Tyler to set a course for the ship's home. They must fly to Durst and deliver the tumor to the moon. Everyone salutes their intrepid friend leader. This is what teamwork is all about. And this guy, you guess this guy can go along and help out. Hey, who even is this guy anyway? Yeah, you guess it doesn't matter. He seems nice enough. John, bid farewell. Godspeed, heroes. You have all the faith in the world that they will be successful. As a friend leader, or sometimes known as a pal honcho, you have done an amazing job. You have come up with a plan and politely request-ordered your loyal team to execute it. It is all falling into place perfectly. You are quite sure you have not failed to account for even a single thing.
John, I'm worried about Rose. I'm pretty sure she is on her way there to look for Jack. I can't say for sure because I can't see her with my goggles anymore for some reason. But I am fearing the worst. Just in case, you should try to intercept her before she does something stupid like try to fight him. Also, you probably still don't know about your dad yet, do you? Darn. Why do I always have to be the one to break jail balloons? Or John?
No, not again.
Oh god, please don't tell me your computer was in the wallet you just gave that guy. Damn it, John! Whatever you say, you will learn the value of having plenty of backup computers. In fact, whenever you finally leave the battlefield, I'm going to give you the code for a nice pair of lunch muffs. Then I'm going to force you to keep them on your head at all times. Yeah, you're never going to read this, are you?
Huh?
Huh?
Something is happening on the other side of the planet. Something ominous. Something grimdark. You're so glad that grimdark is a real word, so that when things like this happen, they may be described as such. Maybe your dad is over there. You believe you will investigate. John, approach grimdarkness.
Oh god damn it. John, you're heading into the blackout, so I won't be able to see you until you leave. But don't worry, I can still sense you are there because of awesome powers. Remember? Smooth move dishing your computer like that. By the way, that was some incredible leadership you showed. Now I have to contact you through Rose, thus exposing me to the risk of actually having to talk to her. Your carelessness has put the heroes of light in a very awkward position, John. I hope you're satisfied. Just kidding. She's obviously a little too preoccupied at the moment to be sassing me. Just borrow her computer and talk to me when you get the chance, okay? I'll be waiting.
Seer, descend.
Yippee!
There's no sign of Jack up here. Must be somewhere in the castle. You got a trophy. He is too frightened to speak. He seems to be indicating that the only reason he survived this massacre was by hiding behind this pillar. Thank goodness for pillars. Advanced frog breeding for beginners. Difficulty level extreme for idiots. A foot soldier's guide to combat. Most of the diagrams of this book involve a soldier advancing by a single tile, either straight ahead or diagonally when lunging with a weapon. No wonder these guys are so easy to kill. This is a book on theoretical physics and complex spatial geometries based on the hypothetical addition of orbs to the Queen's rings. The shapes in the diagrams are very complex. This sort of nonsense is regarded as crack pottery at best. Why would the Queen ever wear more than 4 orbs? 4 towers, 4 orbs, 4 heroes. This is a sacred truth. Journey to the center of the battlefield. Looks to be a fairy tale for youngsters. The hero is a dashing young man in a blue hood. He heals the planet from within, but can do nothing to stop its annihilation from above, or its soon-to-follow eradication from reality. It must be sad growing up in a culture whose mythology is centered around almost completely around futility. You find an ancient unlabeled tome and read an excerpt. Though we adore him, we shall never enjoy his beauteous croak. We spill our blood on acres of black and white so they may cross the yellow yard. At last, in sky's reflection through broken glass, we may find the pond in which he's meant to squat. You got a trophy.
So Jack was like, yeah, these cool trophies, I'm gonna hide them in chests.
Her hands are in my service, but they still shake. They unfasten the first button at my royal gown's waist, clumsily. This is erotic fanfiction written about the Queen in the first person. This doesn't belong in this library. This doesn't belong anywhere. More books. You really have better things to do than to read a lot of books written by chess guys. Books, books, books. Data structures for assholes too, now written to accommodate the shortcomings of the terminally obtuse. Grimoire for summoning the zoologically dubious. This is apparently on loan from the Dursite Library. It seems unlikely to be returned at this point. Well, you think you know what you might find on this shelf. Just a hunch. Yep, more books. Rise of the Slayer, a horror story meant to scare children. Writers of prospician fiction tend to write what they see in the clouds, hence their fables tend to be events which simply haven't happened yet, or happened in another realm. They like to use the word fiction so that kids don't get too scared. Problem Sooth. You have been meaning to read this one. Absolutely required reading for any promising young seer who has blundered into entanglement with the occult through an absurd sequence of events. You got a trophy. You got a flaming meteor chunk. This isn't even treasure. How is this treasure? You got the banner of the villain. You suddenly feel inspired, in a generally rebellious, united sort of way. He seems to be relieved that he and a handful of fellow soldiers have found a secret hideaway to escape the bloody rampage. Maybe if they regroup and marshal all their remaining forces, they can take this guy. Yeah, right. She is all aflutter about a legendary hero, some guy who is weary of war, apparently. A simple farmer, handsome and brave. You think you are beginning to fall in love with him, too. She is apparently swooning over a hero of lore shared by the two kingdoms, a great man who united opposing sides against his tyrannical king. The revolt ended in tragedy, of course, which is typical of their folktales, but it is no less inspiring. She looks scared and confused. There's nothing left to do but hide. This fellow is mourning the dead. He has probably lost many friends today. First he was frightened when you barged in here, and then briefly excited, and now disappointed. He must have thought you were the great Dark Kingdom's defector come to save them. Alas, it was only a spooky girl with magic wands. You're sick of reading. Gotta find Jack. You've never seen anything so sad in your entire life. A beautiful muscular man stallion struck down in his prime. What monster could be responsible for this deed? Hint, it was Jack Noir.
Really?
Who could it? It could have been anyone else.
Something's blocking him from the other side.
What is this? This is goofy.
This is very strange. Oh, this one's blue.
Great. Back to red.
Another red one.
This probably has some meaning that I'm not interpreting. Wait, hold up. Let me check something. God damn it.
What?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1,
Oh.
5, 2.
Oh, it's a giant record.
How many parts are there in Act 5?
Just 2.
Okay.
We're fairly close to Act 6. We're not going to get to it tonight, but...
Or I meant through Act
Oh.
Act 6.
Oh, Act 6 has way more.
Yeah, that's
When
probably
did
what all
John
those
get
ones
here?
are.
Is that John talking in black text? I don't believe it.
Nah, this is not John.
Go on, John.
Hi, Rose. Wow, I did not expect to find you here.
You're
What? Also, why are you all gray like that? You look weird.
See, it's great. Your dyslexia can't mess with you because these aren't real words.
Rose, I can't understand a word you are saying. It is a lot, silly speak and gobbledygook.
Hard. It's horrible.
Wait, I know what's going on here. It finally happened. You have gone grimdark. I told you, Rose, I warned you about, what did you call them? The brood fester throws?
You've gone goth, Rose. Oh no.
Yeah.
London looks at Rose. She's, the town emo.
It's okay, Rose, don't worry. We will find a cure for your stubborn throws.
Like, it's just a phase, Rose.
I'm still trying to find our parents. I thought my dad might have come to this castle to check out that huge black rain cloud.
Poor John.
Did you see the cloud, Rose? It's pretty awesome.
Flinder. Go log. Gerard.
What? You sound kind of upset. What is it, Rose?
Me, Gongaga.
Wait, are you talking about our parents? Oh man, you mean they're here?
Shiglove, Thrall, Course, Funnel, the hot
Just completely disillusioned.
Oh no, Rose has become a sim. Oh yeah, there's like a green crystal above it. Rose is a sim now. Are you saying they're in trouble? Oh no, Rose, we have to help them. Yes, I am frustrated too, but there is no time for such lamentations. Do you think you can find them again?
Sure.
Great, I can't wait to see my dad. It feels like it's been forever since I saw him.
Rose, just hand him the goddamn hat. He'll understand.
Please, lead the way, Rose. He'd understand. I think John's smart enough.
They make such a cute couple. The king and queen are pretty nice too. God damn it, Hussy.
I take back my thing of that being a fake John. That no character could impersonate John's obliviousness that well.
Wait, there's more footsteps.
Oh, and they're leading this way. Wonderful.
When did Homestuck become a horror game?
Oh god.
Oh god! Oh no! Oh no, Rose! What happened in here? Was it Jack? Are you saying it was Jack, Rose?
For God.
What's that, Rose? Are you getting aggravated that I'm talking to you kind of like you are a dog? That is a really nice pillow, by the way. It goes well with your weird dark skin and gothy ensemble.
Has John seen the trolls yet?
You're welcome. I don't think so. Unless he did that whole, like, sky... Wait, did he see him through the cloud thing?
Oh, the pillar.
I think he might have. It just strikes me as odd for him to say, you know, your weird gray skin.
I don't think he's actually interacted with the trolls in person.
I think he might have seen them through the clouds, because I thought
Yeah,
during,
but
like...
that doesn't count. He saw WV through the clouds, too. He saw fucking Hussy and Rufio making out on the goddamn ship from Hook.
True, yeah. You probably were just like, oh yeah, that's
that
neat.
Situation a little bit. They weren't making out. He was dead, and Hussy was trying to revive him.
I kissed Rufio.
By the way, did you know that Carcat thinks we were supposed to get married? Wait, I hope that didn't come off as a proposal or anything. Sorry, I'm just making conversation. I guess I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, make conversation with one that's talking like that.
Because technically, this is the first time we have ever met, and also you're talking like an eldritch monster, so I'm kind of babbling. We don't actually have to get married, though. I mean, not if you don't want to. Okay, I'll shut up now.
John just confessed.
Oh, John. Okay, so
The
we're
only
not married
thing-
by 50.
The only thing we know about John is romantically is that he is not a homosexual. Can I zoom back out? God, I just read part of the author's note. Oh no.
Oh, that was... Fuck.
Well,
That was...
Oh my god.
that was fast.
Well, there goes my character. See you guys next episode.
You're not dipping that easily. You got
I-
3 others.
I think.
After we end this
Okay, one of
episode.
them is still alive.
I'm kidding.
Oh yeah, I forgot the others are dead.
Yeah, all I have left is... yeah, I'm gonna... Can I
No, wait,
Lux?
he has 2. He has 2.
Yeah, only Nepida's dead. So Lux is just chill
right, yeah.
now.
What just happened?
Dave, answer.
Jesus Christ, that was not good.
Strider! Oh my fucking god. What? What do you mean, what? We just got done talking and agreed it'd be awesome if you didn't bother me for a while. You know, like, well, I guess I grieved over this brutally murdered rad family member or something. Oh, that's right, I forgot. It was 5 seconds ago. I think that was hours ago for me. I'm a little foggy on all our chrono-logistical shenanigans at this point. There's been so much crazy stuff going on here, I've lost track. So you're officially going non-linear with me then? We're just forfeiting all rhyme or reason to this unmitigated clusterfuck, is that it? Dave, your entire existence is non-linear. Don't be so melodramatic. Whoops, okay, in the future I'll try not to pitch any sort of dramatics while brooding over the cadavers of slaughtered loved ones. Did you love him, Dave? No. But he was your strange human man, Lucis, who taught you to, like, who taught you to like cool things like swords and puppets and moving really fast. How could you not? Puppets aren't cool. They're shitty, small, fake people who haunt your dreams and grin like permanent assholes. I was making a joke about being all broken up about it. A guy can be sad and make jokes at the same time. You're sad but not broken up about it? I don't understand. Exactly. But you said you were grieving. I said we agreed you'd leave me alone to grieve. Didn't say whether I actually would or actually am. Well, are you? I'm grieving to the max like a widow on Dead Husband Island. Behind these chill as fuck shades, my face is having this crazy attack of the sad. My ruse is fucking bananas, can't you tell? No, I can't. You don't sound sincere, but it's so hard to tell what layer of irony removed from reality your flippant remarks are supposed to be. I'm betting you really are sad, no matter how hilarious and aloof you think you're being. The truth is a mystery, tucked behind the pursed lips of a shitty riddler. They will be loosened only when presented with the with the conundrous grandeur of rigid, insoluble puzzlecock. That makes no sense! I'm sorry you're so flustered by the mere mention of glittering mythical crypto dick. It honestly makes me think you're not ready for the truth. Dave, your perplexing euphemisms involving what I presume to be lewd and vaguely intriguing portions of human anatomy I think are not as hilarious as you probably believe. And in any case, you may be amazed to learn I am not totally in the mood for your dumb, smartassy hornswogglery. I have lots of my own problems here, and they are big, big problems. So why don't you just tell me what you're thinking for once? It's pretty simple. I'm just thinking about how I'm going to take this sword. Yeah, I never really got why you wouldn't just pull it out. Filthiest thing you ever said. Huh? Forget it. Pulling swords out of things isn't how I roll. I'm not John, remember? I'm not following. I'm not a hero. My bro was. John is. I'm not. Yes, you are! No. Yes, we all are. I'm the hero of mind. You are the hero of time. That is who we were created to be. Fine, it's a title we inherit as phlegm babies or whatever, but what have I done to earn it? Pretty much nothing but horsing around through time and swindling octogenarian alligators out of their life savings. If that sword's coming out of his chest, it's coming out clean. Taking it vertically means drawing more blood, but horizontally means a clean break. Check it. No, don't! Dave, break.
I'll break it, Brian.
Dave, get up! No, fuck that. I'm gonna lie my ass right down here for a while, looking slightly less cool than I make myself out to be ordinarily. You must stand tall! Only a true hero could pull off such an acrobatic fucking pirouette off of that handle! That's basically what I just did, isn't it? Yes! That's what I'm doing here. I'm making a point of making every little thing take place what was once mentioned in passing, no matter how seemingly trivial or pointless. That's how all the best adventures get strung together. You haven't heard me bleat like a goat for ironically humorous purposes yet, have you? No? That was something that was mentioned at some point by someone, I forget when or why. I bet you're on goddamn pins and needles waiting for that, aren't you? Are you about to bleat like an earth goat, Dave? No, fuck that. Then will you at least get up? No, fuck you. Go away. Why do I do this to myself? What? Subject myself to the moody nonsense of curmudgeonly candy-blooded foul mouths. I don't know. Why are you even talking to me anyway? Aside from the fact that several hours from now you apparently forget I don't need consolation and ought to be left alone. Maybe it just so happens that for once, this isn't about you. Maybe I am the one who needs some help. Has that occurred to you, Mr. Cool Kid? Oh. Anyway, I remember now. Sorry, everyone went kind of shit hive here, and I got bitten, I think, and I kind of forgot where I left off with you. Bitten? What? But I remember where this all fits into the chronology. You're with your bro here. This was just before you begged me to finally show you how to reach God tier. So I did. And then you got mad at me, so you decided to go do your own thing for a while. Since then, I've been up to my pointy little nubs in suspense, intrigue, and betrayal. That sure sounds like a dumb way to say a thing. Almost Egbertian in elegant stupidity. The T in Egbertian is soft, like shh. Oh. Why would I get mad at you? Oh, you'll see. Okay, but yeah, I guess it's about time you showed me what's up with my allegedly futile god tierification. How long ago was it that you did your coin flip thing? I don't even remember. I was getting sure you were just bullshitting me and I had no intention of ever mentioning it again. Unfortunately, no. Maybe you should take the opportunity to apologize in advance. For what? I don't think it'll be constructive to go into it before it happens. Before what happens? You mean god tiering? Does something go wrong? Everything goes according to plan. That's all I'll say. Remember, this conversation's kind of not supposed to be about you. I know the idea is unprecedented. That's practically unthinkable. I know. But I mean, okay, we can talk about your troll problem, but this is pretty important here. The god tier thing and whether I can actually do it or not might be kind of hard to tell on account of me chilling face down on the pavement, and also because downplaying feelings is the chief rule of cool, but I'm pretty pissed about this, which is weird. It's weird to feel mad? Are you too cool for that too? No, it's not weird to be mad, it's just weird it feels like I'm the only one who is, and the only one even contemplating taking Jack on, even among your group of irate gnashing shitheads. Hey! What? Actually, you're right. Turns out we really do have a lot of shitheads here. Also, as it happens, the worst one is the one who happens to be planning to take him on. Oh, okay. And that would be a bitch in line to switch the subject and start talking about your complicated problems, but I kinda wasn't done. Fine! But for someone who just told me to fuck off, you are sure bending my ear suddenly. But, okay, I mean, isn't that what heroes should be doing? Working to take down the bad guy without a whole lot of this fucking grandiloquence and these huge sweeping plans that got nothing to do with fighting him? Like, always biding our time and tiptoeing around the unbeatable god boss. John's too nice to get mad. Rose spends all her time calculating, too focused on Machiavellian ploys of sabotage to try anything drastic. Jade is, I don't even know, probably more a liability if she got in her head to take him down. If anything, I bet she just needs protection. What are you saying here, Dave? In this conversation that is still being about you? I'm just wondering, when does someone actually step up? Jack's got shit to pay for. If that's how you feel, then I think our two problems are not really different. We're both presently concerned with justice. Yeah, I guess it has been on my mind. Maybe I'm supposed to be a hero and rise to the occasion because there seems to be this little persistent voice in my head nagging me about it, insisting someone's gotta pay. It's hard for me to disagree. Then it could mean one of two things. Or both of the two things, like it did for me. What things? It could mean that the agent presently influencing you is a conscience and/or an exile. This is so completely illegal. I'm pretty sure I don't even have an exile. Never heard any voices or anything. Anyway, you don't need a voice in your head to tell you this shit is just, like, so completely illegal. Wait, why did I just say that stupid thing I said? This atrocity cannot go unpunished. Throw whoever is responsible into the slammer. Slammer means jail, by the way. Dave, I did not realize you had such a passion for law enforcement. I must say, this shocking development is coming dangerously close to giving me a case of the vapors. No, I mean, okay, that came out wrong. What were we talking about again? Bringing Jack to justice? Right, someone has to make him pay. Can't let him just go unpunished. If I can figure out how to reach the god tier, maybe I can be the one to throw him into the slammer. The slammer? Slammer means jail. I know what the slammer means. You call it the slammer when you're extra angry at crimes. You call it the slammer when you're extra angry at crimes. Take a note of that important principle, because I'm deputizing you even though you are a kid. Are you taking notes on this important principle? Jesus, get a fucking pen or some chalk or whatever. I think I'm following. You're gonna go find Jack and put him in jail? Wait, fuck. What? No. Dave, I know you're likely discombobulated with grief over your fallen man bro loses, but that is extremely silly and doesn't make any sense. I know it doesn't. I'm just saying, what am I even saying here? Shit. But only while I'm away from my jurisdiction, which I think is forever. Bring the criminals to justice, young deputy. Each mutinous agent must pay for their crimes. I'm still not sure. You're talking about throwing Jack into the slammer and rambling about justice and telling me to get pens and such. Not that I'm complaining. Okay, forget the slammer stuff, that was stupid. It is about justice, though, and since no one else seems to give a shit about that, it apparently falls in my jurisdiction now. Not just going after Jack, but all the other mutinous agents responsible for crimes. Agents? Holy shit, why do I care about that suddenly? Anyway, that's more shit that popped into my head just now, so, okay. I have other duties to attend to. Well, Noir's cronies are exploitable. Are you saying you have a plan that involves targeting them? Not really, no. Anyway, it's not like being mad about this and hankering for justice is even the only irrational thing I'm currently hot and bothered about. I have other duties to attend to. Like what? I must explode this ridiculously illegal edifice. I've got to explode this ridiculously illegal edifice. Oh my god, what are these words I'm saying? You have to explode something? Never mind. Are you referring to your plan to blow up the green sun? Oh yeah, that's gotta be what I'm talking about. Probably. I need to shut up now. I'm sounding like an idiot. My head is starting to hurt. Why don't we talk about your thing now? What justice thing do you have to do? You mean it's actually my turn to talk? Yes. But I was beginning to forget my problem was in your highly enjoyable befuddlement. Just please, tell me your justice problem. Make me stop saying stuff. Farewell. Farewell? Wait. No, I mean, goddammit, I'm not leaving. Farewell's not even a thing I would ever say. Jesus, what am I, a Victorian poet? Can you show me a little respect and assume anytime I say something stupid, it just means I've been temporarily replaced with a pod person? That's what a real friend would do. Okay, Dave. I will show some sensitivity and cast suspicion on the intellectual merit of everything you have ever said. Thank you. I will further demonstrate my friendship by dominating the rest of this conversation with lengthy accounts of my emotional tribulations, leaving no space for you to submit any amusing outbursts. That sounds awesome. Quiet! Now where was I? Justice problems. Oh, yes, of course. You see, our aims are not that dissimilar. Our pursuits of justice, I mean, but yours is motivated by anger in the heat of the moment, which is blinding you to the consequences of attempting something very foolish. You're far too cool to succumb to anything like that, which is why you will come to your senses shortly. My situation is a little more complicated. It's less personal, though once it was a grudge which propelled our rivalry, now its resolution has become a matter of practicality, if not professionalism. Businesslike. The way a true legislator conducts her prosecutions. Dave, did you know that centuries ago on my planet, legislators were not confined to stuffy court blocks arguing cases before his honorable tyranny? Oh shit, are you fucking serious? Yes! Also, shh! I know you're sassing me due to my use of terms unfamiliar to humans, but it is true. They were deployed throughout the galaxy to apprehend criminals by any means necessary. No, I got that they're like your alien death lawyers who were sort of like bounty hunters in olden times. Pretty simple to decipher the context. I thought I told you to be quiet. I'm monologuing here. Anyway, they would not rest until their suspect was in custody, one way or another. They would gather evidence over the course of the investigation, compiling a case to be presented at the trial, should one be held before the final submission of the guilty corpse to judicial authorities. Personal feelings and vendettas did not matter, nor did even the nature of the crime. Only justice did. They were selected for their cunning and martial prowess, and for their ability to understand the minds of the criminals they sought. This is why the burden has to be mine, I think. I'm the only one who knows how to handle her. As such, she is my responsibility. She? Shush! Okay, I can't even make little interrogative quips to grease the wheels of your monologue. Oh, yes, that's okay. In fact, it's very helpful. Who do you think? Spider Troll. You're correct, the spideriest one of all. You decided to take her down then. I guess so. You don't sound that psyched about it. Well, I'm here talking to you about it instead of actually doing it, aren't I? Are you feeling guilty? Like second-guessing whether she deserves it? Not exactly. Hasn't she done enough terrible shit to warrant legislation? That is not a thing! But yes, the case against her is overwhelming. More than you even know. She's completely out of control now. She's murdered at least one of my good friends, and possibly several others. I'm not sure yet. The circumstances are a little fishy, but my investigation is ongoing. Additionally, I've discovered she is complicit in Jack's rise to power. When I first learned he came from your session, I mistakenly blamed you all and took it out on a hapless Egbert. But if anyone is to pay for releasing that demon on both of our groups, it's her. Are you sure about that? Yes, and she knows I know. She's been taunting me, trying to stir up our old rivalry. That's what this whole John versus Dave thing has been about. There is no John versus Dave thing, though. I know, not really. It's just a game. But the game is serious business to her, like it was during our role-playing days. Just like then, she's ruined everything by taking it too far. And in spite of all her past crimes, these are not even the most important reasons to stop her. She's decided to fight Jack herself, which is an extremely dangerous and stupid thing to do. Sound familiar, Dave? Are you gonna stop me too, then? Hunt me down and lawyer eviscerate me for my own good? No, I'll just let you try to reach the god tier and then decide for yourself. Are you saying that I won't make god tier, I won't be strong enough if I do? Objection! What? We are talking about you again! I motion that all Dave-centric testimony be stricken from the record. Lame motion overruled. The judge wants to see where this is going. No, he doesn't. You know perfectly well he doesn't give a shit. He'll clear this court block if he does not have order. He swears to Gigas. Okay, fine. We can keep obsessing over your fucked up Kismet sister if you want. It's not like that! Do you think she stands a chance against him? No. Then what's the big deal? Why not let her go get her shit ruined by Jack and let justice happen that way? Because I'm quite sure that if she goes to find him, it will tip him off to our location in the Vale. I've seen it already. That is why it is no simple vendetta. Bringing her to justice is critical to her survival. So why don't you go do it? Because I'm not sure if I can. You mean you can't beat her in a fight? No, it's not that. It's just that when the time comes, I'm not sure if I'll be able to kill her. I thought trolls were all about gratuitous murderings. Yes, it's true. We're supposed to revel in bloodshed as we grow up, and she seems to be embracing her rite of passage with reckless abandon, as I would expect. Grabbing the bull by the horns, so to speak. It's a little intimidating, because I'm not sure if I'm ready for that, which I guess is normal? Are you asking me to reassure you about that? Because I seriously don't have a clue. It's okay, Dave. Still monologuing. I guess I'm not so much worried about not being ready as I am that I might not actually want to be ready. Maybe ever. Maybe there's something wrong with me. I don't understand. I thought you were insane kinds of apeshit over the macabre stuff, like being all cutesy about executions and smelling cherry blood and such things contrived to get a guy feeling vaguely uncomfortable. Was that all an act? Not an act, just fun. I like fun, Dave, and I also like games. Don't you like fun and games? Of course the fuck not. Liar! Didn't you say you've killed people before? There's a big difference between manipulating people to their doom with trickery and killing someone by your own hand. It's a bit like having to face your own death. discovering the difference between leaving the responsibility to someone else and doing the dirty work yourself. Maybe you'll understand someday. Okay, I'd like to help you out, but I don't know what advice I should be giving to a member of a murderous species who's gun-shy on going off to justice murder a murder-happy murderer who's done lots of murders. Feels pretty weird and inappropriate for me to be the one to tell you, fuck yes, go for it. She's got this huge murder with her name on it anyways, and it's cruising right down at her down Comeuppance Boulevard. So I don't know. Do you want me to tell you to be a better human, or to be a better troll? I can't tell you what to advise me, chump-ass! Maybe I'm not even looking for advice per se. I just want to talk to someone about it. Alright, well, all I'll say is, maybe if you kill her, at least we can finally stop obsessing over her. Sign! Yeah, fair enough. Why don't you just do what you think you have to do, and I'll do the same. Speaking of which... Oh, right, you'll be bugging me about showing you how to reach the god tier soon. Prompted by this very conversation, I imagine. Who'd have thought? These time shenanigans completely blindsided us. They practically never even happen. I know! So I hang up now with future you, and then start pestering present you about it. Is that how this works? Yes! And make sure not to reference anything said here to keep it simple, except like in an offhand way that'll seem retroactively logical to your future self, i.e. you right now, if for no other reason than it'd be boring as hell to rehash it. That sounds about right, but what do I know? You're the time guy after all. Luckily, I will not have to participate in these charades this time around. Does luck actually matter? Exit.
How long have you been going for so far?
What?
How long have you been going for?
It's been about an hour and 30 minutes.
That's a lot.
I might have to leave in like under 30 minutes. I don't know. Depends. I don't know what time of day I get off tonight.
Oh no, disc 2 is missing.
Yeah, 11:30.
We're missing
Well,
disc
there
2
we
of
go, guys.
Homestuck.
It's gonna be a couple months so we can do the next episode. We gotta find the second
we
disc.
gotta go find disc 2. Oh, wait. Keep playing anyway. You have no idea what the hell this thing is or why you would need another disc. You just capture log it and proceed. There's justice to be done. You are running out of time. Terezi, proceed. This does not appear to be an interactable.
Interesting.
It
Terezi.
doesn't have the thing in the top.
Read note. God damn it!
What?
Terezi, wake up. You cannot wake up because you were not actually asleep. You were just taking a breather in this nice cozy pile of horrifically mutilated scalemates which were gathered here to break your fall for some reason. You wonder where you are. This is a fancy looking room. Doesn't look like a place you would expect to find on this meteor, at least not in any strictly canonical capacity. But Terezi, examine surroundings. This dapper kiwi-suited gentleman is quite familiar. You're almost positive he made an appearance in that very crowded dream you had recently. Where did he go? Something in this room smells funny, and fast. Terezi, climb stairs. You cannot ascend. The staircase is suffering from a catastrophic horn clog. Terezi, exit door. The door is locked. You'll either need a key or to break it down with force. You would need to achieve an especially heightened state of determination to pull that off, though. You've been completely hornswoggled. This whole thing was a setup from the start, a trap deployed by a cunning mastermind. All of the clues are adding up. The blood, the note, the flagrant displays of tricksterism and japery. The identity of the puppet master behind all of this is now painfully obvious to you. Spider Troll.
Spider troll.
Terezi, play records. This sure is this sure is a music playing page. You select appropriate crime-solving music to set the right mood. With this kind of atmosphere, it's highly unlikely that any crime will stay unsolved for long.
I love a song from 1904.
Terezi, remove Midnight Crew record. No, this vaudevillian cornball nonsense will not do it all. The mood is just not right for figuring out crimes. You put the record back in its sleeve. Terezi, examine cover. Who is this douchebag?
I'm going to give you a great song now by Eddie Morton, one of my favorite ragtime era. before we made a big
Midnightcrew.mp4.
Okay, great. Wow. Before you can make heads or tails of who exactly this douchebag is, something rolls out of the sleeve. It appears to be a very small record. It's so small. What is such a small record doing in this great big sleeve? You got Homestuck Disc 2! You cannot get over how tiny this record is. It's adorable. You wonder what sort of music it plays. Terezi, play Tiny Record. Oh no. Predictably, you scratch the surface of the disc. What were you expecting? It's almost like you don't even know what a CD is. With the disc damaged, who knows what sort of effect it'll have on the data. Better store it somewhere safe to prevent any more mishaps. Terezi, capture log disc. It should be perfectly safe from any similar kinds of damage while secured in your scratch and sniff modus. Terezi, examine chests.
Yeah.
You've spent way too much time calibrating the ambiance of your investigation and not nearly enough time investigating. It is one of the most common pitfalls to being an investigator, aside from literal pitfalls, which you actually fall into. There are 2 chests in the secret room. Nothing out of the ordinary. Chests are everywhere in this lab, and people find it all too tempting to sneak their personal belongings into them for safekeeping. That is, until the goods are stolen shortly after by those who can't resist looting every chest they encounter, which is everybody. Maybe these ones contain clues. Terezi, open chest. You got your Neophyte Red Glare role-playing outfit. What is this doing in here? You have not worn it since your flarping days. The only part of it you kept on hand was the stylish pair of glasses, which of course, since the incident, has managed to become a regular accessory. You cannot imagine how someone could have gotten their hands on the rest of it. Surely a crafty and resourceful criminal is at work. Spider troll, spider troll, spider troll.
Spider troll.
Terezi, where's Sue? You don the garb of the legendary Legis Lacerator. It brings back memories of many successful fantasy prosecutions resulting in the real executions of rival players. Those were the days. Terezi, open other chest. You got your Pyrospite plush. Pyrospite was your scalemate sidekick during your campaigns. It was the model of loyalty, friendship, and righteous retribution. More than could be said for another partner in justice. There's no doubt about it anymore. She's clearly baiting you into confrontation. You mean, baiting. Terezi, hug Pyrospite. You embrace your old friend, releasing a mighty and majestic squeak. It has been too long, old friend. You vow never to let him out of your scent again.
Okay.
This puppet is becoming a nuisance. It appears to exhibit the same incredible puppet fastness properties which Dave's had. Must be some form of universal puppet enchantment. Couldn't possibly be the same one, because that would just be insane. Hey, where did Pyrospite go? Terezi, look up. There he is. How'd he get all the way up there? He's always been quite the slippery scallywag. Maybe he was reminding you to check out the note. You almost forgot it was up there, what with all your furious investigating, most of which has involved fooling around with records, hugging plush toys, and cosplaying as a childhood heroine. Terezi, read it. Just as you thought, it is a message from Vriska summoning you to do battle. It is written in Gamzee's rich, jelly-smelling blood, but it is her handwriting for sure. Her quirk is present, leaving the matter undebatable. But why the hell does she want you to bring this stupid puppet along? She's so weird. There's a journal entry on the back. It probably isn't the slightest bit relevant to the current situation, but you guess it couldn't hurt to read it anyway. Terezi, examine journal entry. Oh boy. I suppose I'll have to get used to writing with this hand instead. I now do so in captivity, while I bring my awe to bear on the immensity of the subjugulator's hijinks. I took their gesture as plain avowal of my prosecution's futility. With a lone neophyte assigned to the task, how could I view it otherwise? I was sure they'd drawn from the bottom of their deck, not intending to squander more competent mercenaries on one who'd made a show of outclassing them all before. But I discovered too late the red glare was their wild card all along. How is one allowed to be raised by a dragon in this era, let alone one of such middling blood, the sickly hue of a gutless civil servant? Those of her caste are typically pleased to mount a sluggish collar bear, or some brainless squawking spleen fowl during petty expeditions to plaster seizure notice on gambling property. By what fluke was this woman granted such a weapon, permitting her to luxuriate in these delusions of righteousness? Something blocked the light of the unbitten moon, treating the harbor to darkness more grim than what fell this season's apogee. I made the mistake of looking into its eyes, each like a sun concentrated into a small jewel, as 2 hot garnets searing through a black veil. I shut mine quickly, but the more sensitive of them was burned irreparably. When I regained sight in the other, there was only red. My fleet was in flames. The neophyte was on deck. Pyrospite, she mentioned through her ridiculous forced grin. She wanted me to know the name of the beast which was able to consume my Lucis whole. My dice were in the hold below, not that my present luck would consent to a favorable roll anyway. I made a move for my blade. She took my arm, which I'm sure she kept as the tiniest of snacks for her ostentatious custodian. Maybe she meant to prove she wouldn't need me in irons to have my submission. Bound or free. 2, 1, or none. I wonder how well she knows it's not what I do with my arms she has to fear. I await my trial. Insert disc 2.
So you can either let it load or you can click the button. It literally do the same thing.
Okay. Seer, ascend.
It's Terezi's theme.
The song is literally called Terezi Owns.
I love this one.
Acrobatic fucking pirouette.
The realistic button.
What? Terezi Owns is reminiscent in sound of Dave Owns? No.
The plush sounds.
It's her. It's Red Glare.
It's her, Mind Fang.
Nobody's excited about that. Stop lying.
Yeah. Wait until I see Dual Scar.
Oh God. Much fanfare was made of the trial, more than I would have dared to hope. It seems my luck has been returning of late. The High Bloods surely intend to make a spectacle of my conviction. They filled the court block with peasants ravenous for the comeuppance of a blue blood. I wasn't about to deny them what they came for. It was kind of the authorities to supply me with phalanx of such impressionable spectators. The weak wills were nearly as thick in the air as the rust in their veins. Funny how my other senses seem to have peaked since exchanging glances with the dragon. What an extraordinary specimen! How I've come to covet the creature since it ruined my fleet. I know too well the whispers of a dangerous new infatuation when they beckon, but I digress. It was simple enough to nudge the hostility of the low bloods from one aristocrat to another. The subjugulators could not have been pleased, but nor could they have been altogether unamused, I would expect. I wonder if this was part of their unfathomable game. I'll never understand their riddles. I only regret I didn't get to hear the opening statement the neophyte had prepared against me. The case she compiled from all that evidence she burned must have been damning. I bet her remarks would have stung worse than when she severed my arm. She certainly would have shown me greater mercy by taking the other instead. Alas, I mocked to disguise the extent of my regret. Had my escape not necessitated her demise, she would have made a lovely rival. If she'd only discarded her childish preoccupation with justice, we might have made a striking scourge. Had we inched blacker, we'd have torn red miles across the land and sea. Unfortunately, the only miles to be found through her bureaucratic calling were those of red tape. When so ensnared, one is eventually bound to be choked. With the court block cleared, all that remained to obstruct my freedom was his honorable tyranny himself. Upon reflection, Red Glare showed the foresight of a true seer in thieving my arm before the trial. It permitted a fair fight. Though I was free, I had no fleet. No matter. With the gambling it's decimated, I'd embraced the turn in fortune and pledged to put my sea-grifting ways behind me. With any luck, the skies will be my future. My thoughts again returned to that dragon. But first, I was in need of temporary refuge. I sought it with the expatriate. He owed me for the sweeps of protection I provided after his brazen defiance of the High Bloods. It was perhaps the only such courageous stand ever taken against a superior by one of his supercilious pedigree, and I'd not have bothered sticking my neck out for another. But the admiration he'd won naturally wore thin as he persistently bemoaned his treason and banishment, and I was saddened to find this habit holding strong even now. I wonder if he still believes she was worth it. Repairing my arm would go a little further in squaring his debt with me. Even if I came with both intact, I might have ripped one off and put him to the task just to halt to his blubbering. Darklear was always a skilled machinist, and the work proved an adequate distraction. So pacified, he listened to what I had to say about my recent travails with the law and pyrospite and what I'd come for in truth, the treasure he'd been keeping safe for me. I cradled the oracle in my synthetic hand, as if appraising by weight the mystic qualities it still concealed. With my vision eightfold seared away, I was as blind to its secrets as the old doctor was to its present whereabouts. I'd learned to keep it cloaked from the awareness of the man who once called me his protege, a backhanded term of endearment from a smug manipulator. Locating his so-called dark pockets was the only gambit I had in countering his milk-tongued doublespeak. The expatriate, for indiscernible reasons, seemed naturally surrounded by such a void in the doctor's awareness, and so was uniquely fit to inherit the orb. The doctor could not see his treasure, nor I into it. I considered what to do with it for a while. Should I find pyrospite by consulting with the oracle, as I'd done so often to steal fortune from my adversaries? I guessed exploiting some technological means of gazing through its surface may have been simple enough, but I hesitated. Every expedient granted by its counsel, though never instantly, came at a price. Knowing his nature, I'm surprised I only now recognize it as yet another instrument of his spurious benevolence, dangerous by way of selective divulgence. The sense of infallibility his oracle brought me was superficial, and in hindsight weakened my readiness. Knowing my fate so far in advance, I took Redglaire's threat lightly. The greatest mistake I've ever made was asking the orb when I would die. But as I revisited the prophecy surrounding this unfortunate query, something struck me. I thought of the man I would have as a mate sprint centuries from now, who was said to command an army of beasts, the one it called the Summoner. If my obsession with the dragon should continue to burn for so long, would he be the one to assist me in taming it? I did not have enough knowledge to ask the right questions when I had the opportunity. Were that the case, I might have asked if it would be his rare abilities of communion that would bring pyrospite under control. Would it be on account of my influence? And if so, would I exert this influence by taking his will or winning his heart? These are details I would have given no second thought in drawing from the orb, my curiosity a force usually too much to quell. But now... I have thought of the Summoner often. I have been troubled to know that as one so common-blooded he could not possibly have hatched yet, nor will he wriggle from the caverns for many sweeps, so I must have patience to take up my role in his story of heroism. It is a tale which reads to me as though lifted from a child's story, yet I know I'd be a fool to doubt its veracity entirely. He would rise through the ranks of the cavalry reapers and assume command, having proven the most skilled and fearless of them. He would exhibit a remarkable pupation, the sort only recorded in myth, growing, or perhaps simply revealing, a striking pair of wings. His army thus inspired would spearhead a major rebellion, surely one at least on the scale of the sectarian revolt crushed by the Highbloods, who thereafter forbade its mention or any invocation of the heretical symbols at all, even in private journals. Which is why I will stick to the fable of the Summoner, and not risk another execution with even oblique references to the compelling tale of the Sufferer. Resolution to the Summoner's mutiny is foggy, as I only understand what has been relayed to me through the brief answers I thought to solicit. Ultimately, the ire of the Condis would be such that in the settling dust of the conflict she would scatter all who reached maturity to the stars to fight her wars, I presume to keep them occupied, existing in a less centralized state from which such a coup may arise. This is still an incredible notion for me to consider, and I cannot imagine how she would come to enforce such an upheaval in our civilization. Though I suppose she will have on her side the advantage of an unparalleled lifespan, and the leverage extended by the hideous psychic prongs of her deep undulating monstrosity. That is, until it chooses another little witch to serve. Nevertheless, I take the prediction as truth, and find it amusing that a homeworld dominated by children will be the great Summoner's legacy. One of them, at least. More importantly, and less amusingly, his legacy will be my demise. You see, I first learned his name when I asked who would be the one to kill me. I have never spoken nor written of him out of contempt for the prophecy, but do so here in my final entry for this journal. I took this to be a pitiable fate, and scoured the orb for any means of escaping it, or at least to salvage a little dignity from the tale of my downfall. Alas, it had no consolation for my vanity. But as I sit here deciding what to do with the damnable little sphere, I understand my error. It was not in failing to chart a course through future events to turn my fortune's tide, even so many sweeps from now. It was in believing the future was mine to know, and fortune mine to control. If this hero is meant to breathe life into my embittered heart, and if he is to earn the right to run it through, then so be it. For him I will commit to this page my highest expectations, and for what precious uncertainty is left in my future, I renew my vigorous anticipation. The The oracle I will resolve to part with. I will conceal it in a crypt bearing the sign of the expatriate with a map to its location hidden in this journal. To whomever finds it, be wary, for the truth it tells may leave its new keeper blind as I was, though no more. Flip. God damn it.
Click there.
Not liking where this is going.
Yeah.
Cool. It's just gonna stay on this. The disc is too
That's it.
badly damaged. You can no longer play Homestuck.
Well, that's the end of the series. Have fun, guys. This was great rating. I rate Homestuck a solid 7 out of 10. See you next time.
Bye.
Quit. You are forced to quit. You will not be able to resume playing unless you can repair the scratch in the disc. You will need to seek the service of someone who is capable of fixing a scratch. A scratch doctor, if you will. Hold up. What page is that supposed to be on?
I don't think it's this page.
Let me double check.
A scratch doctor.
A scratch doctor, if you will.
So I ordered another 80 nuggets.
God damn it, dude.
No, I'm joking. I ordered 30. I got myself 20. My grandma.
It is
wanted some.
literally supposed to be this page. Oh, after this page. Okay. You rang? That was a joke. Of course you didn't. I don't have a doorbell, remember? You're early, however. Just under 8 minutes, in fact. I knew you would be, of course. Fret not, however. A good host always knows how to keep his guest entertained. I have prepared something exhilarating to tide you over for a short while. A peek at an event a certain someone didn't see fit to show you. I'm quite sure you were curious to see how our 12 intrepid trolls snatched victory from the claws of defeat in their stacked session, were you not? I know you were. I ask only for a bit of patience while I finish sorting my affairs. Please, do enjoy this in the meantime. Be patient.
So what is this? So is this in the original version, or?
So this is the fan-made animation that is meant to be the fight between the trolls and the Black King.
Ah, okay. Was this a part of like the original Homestuck?
I just told you it was
No.
fan-made.
It's
Okay. Well, I didn't know if it was fan made and then they added it or something. Oh, this is some really good music.
All of the way.
All of it.
Imagine Gracie was like, charge! And she held out her one cane.
Yeah, that certain someone who didn't see fit to show you this was Andrew Hussey.
I was thinking that. I was like, it's gotta be Hussey. He's the one who he didn't want to show us this cool animation.
More
didn't exist at
accurately,
the
I
time.
think he didn't want to spend time animating it.
That would have been a lot of work.
I want to know how long it took this person to make this.
I'm guessing this was a group effort, right?
Yeah, it looks like a group effort.
Let's do the style changes. Yeah. It's...
Kanaya just changing outfit is so good. Weasel of unusual size! I mean,
Classic Equius.
yeah.
Rufio!
You can do it, Tavros.
No!
No. Of course, Aridin had it pointing at Solux for a little bit.
Yeah. I was like, riding the horse by stabbing her veins and all that. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh god, run! AMC! What the fuck just happened? Oh yeah, that's probably also another reason they put this so late.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was in
Lot of-
there.
A lot of I guess spoilers for the design. I love
Yeah,
the
we haven't-
Ancestors designs. I haven't talked about that yet, but I love their designs so much.
Yeah, they're really cool.
I'm not gonna lie, I really want to make a.
It's just still going.
Oh no. Oh wait, no, no.
Again. Oh. Oh, yep, no.
Come on, man.
Come on, guys. You didn't have to do this again. Oh, I really like that theme, though, at the end. This is good. Oh, that was so good.
Petra be like, I'm going to hit these two over the head. They don't shut up.
It was amazing. I love it.
Ah, now wasn't that thrilling? The power and coordination were quite impressive, I must say. A shame that would all fall apart in due time, but you're quite aware of that already. In any case. Alright.
Let us have this, Scratch. Let us have it.
Yippee.
Wonderful. We will meet again in due time for the next episode.
I'm just happy, happy Spade is back. Favorite character. The best guy. I can't say boy, best guy. He's the best.
Best man.
Best man.
The best boy
Best-
Cavra.
Best carapace.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna beat me up. Be able to change my mind on Cavros.
Truthfully,
He's Best boy Tavros, I can agree.
I'm not sure how long the next episode will be for purposes of, you know.
Yeah.
Trying to end on
Making
cool
things
moments
work.
like this.
It's just a whole lot of Doc Scratch
Of course it
House.
is.
in his house.
I'm warming up to Doc Scratch. He I don't used to not like him, but he's more. I'm
I
more
You
interested. He's
used to
pretty
not
cool.
like him, but now you like him after he kept making a girl uncomfortable and saying weird things to her.
But I don't know. It's funny though, kind of. It's kind of funny at least. He at least has like a pseudo sense of humor, and he's a good guy, kind of.
Kind of. Yeah.
Kind
He's
of.
not.
No,
He's
he's
like a
not.
strictly neutral figure
Yeah.
for now.
Also, let's not
Which
forget.
He
Let's
is
not forget to mention, he works
explicitly
for Lord
trying.
English.
He is explicitly trying to summon a very evil man.
But in doing
Yeah.
so, helps them defeat Jack.
No,
Oh.
okay.
Right?
The
Like,
man is gonna be summoned no matter what. That's what Doc said.
yeah. So I mean, no matter what, he'll be summoned. But at least this way, he'll be summoned. But Jack's gone.
Hey,
Probably
Maybe I'm not.
depowered. Depowered. I don't
in
know how
a
that would work,
different
but-
game session.
He ain't
Look-
leaving.
Hey, Dylan,
What
let's
do
put
you
it this
mean?
way. I have a
Yeah,
feeling
true.
Jack's just gonna be like, you know what? I'm taking your powers.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious what Spade. What I just want to know what Spade Slick is involved. How he's involved in this plan.
I don't know. He just kind of showed up at Doc's apartment and then started filling a hat with licorice Scotty dogs. So.
No,
Yep,
first
yeah.
he tried to kill. First he tried to kill him.
True. He's like, green suit.
Slam with the horse hitcher, but it didn't work.
Yeah, and I have him
That's
just.
why he's the best.
Hopefully, his hat has infinite storage. Otherwise, his hat's gonna get full pretty fast.
No, I
It's
think
just a
he'd
lot of twos of spades.
maybe he'll put it in his war chest.
Fill his war chest next. Good. Needs to pull out a weapon. No. Too many Scotty dogs.
Too
They're
many.
like packing peanuts at that point.
He's gonna put it in the. He's gonna put it in the higher valued cards so that he can fit more in each card.
He's gonna like walk. I feel like he's gonna find something in Doc Scratch House and be like, you know what? I'm filling this and taking this with me. Honestly, why not just take the bull at that point?
Yeah.
Because that's terrible candy etiquette.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Bad etiquette.
Fair.
Hold up.
Rewatch the video.
Yeah, rewatch the entire 8-minute thing.
You guys,
No,
how long
7.5.
animation? 7.5.
No, it's not 7.5, but
Technically, spoilers for the designs of the ancestors we haven't
of
seen
like
yet,
a couple of them, yeah.
We need to put that Gamzee.
but like it doesn't
play.
really matter that much.
It's not
If
that
I could
important.
see any of these in like
yeah,
anime
we haven't
days,
seen like High Blood or
We've seen the
Nepeta.
Grand High Blood.
Yeah,
we
no,
have-
it's Grand High
have-
Blood.
um,
Yeah,
one of
the
the arcs.
Handmaid and the Condus.
And I could see
she's been
any
name
part
dropped,
of
but
It's the same with a couple. Like I'm not gonna say it, but there is another ancestor that like just got name dropped.
Contis, right?
That
She
is
got
not
name dropped.
is not the
There
one I
was
was
a
referring to. Hold
That
up,
was a few pages.
where's the stupid thing?
Do you mean?
There we go.
Yeah, that should be the.
It's Joker. It's a Joker kind of,
but
right?
that-
Like
that
that's
should
from
be
that.
the,
Society.
That should be
Yeah,
the
it's
thumbnail.
You know how
thumbnail
busy
for
this
this.
image is, Caden?
It is very busy.
Yeah.
It is very busy. I don't know. What about the one we could make the thumbnail like when they're all
You see
like
that honk background?
posing
I have
at the
that.
end. The whole back.
Custom art of our characters fighting the Black King.
Anyway,
I would.
that's gonna cap off today's episode of Homestuck. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, call your mom.
20 likes, we'll start an OnlyFans.
No.
Of, Homestuck. It's just
No,
strictly
but
Homestuck.
leave a yippee in the comment.
For no reason, just
bring
do
in all
it.
the yippies. Just all. Yeah, there's no goal involved with that. Just bring in just put the yippies. Bring
Now, if
some
we get-
positivity.
If we get 12 likes, we will read Jailbreak.
Fucking sure.
Good luck.
I'll watch us get like 40 likes instead of 12.
In the comment, how about a comment challenge? Besides Yippee, put your favorite weird side character in Homestuck. Put it
That
down in the
has shown
comments.
up to this point. Let's
That has shown up
specify
to
that.
this point. Yeah, don't. Yeah. Don't put any weird
Spoiler.
guys. But like, put it down there. You know. Put down.
I know somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, it's actually this character from late Act 6." Like,
Oh yeah, I love the character Boybot. Let's go. Not a real character. It's my
yeah,
nickname for a character.
it's a
My
nickname
favorite
for a
character in
character
this
that I
is,
think I might know who you're
well,
talking
Charles
about.
Duddle. My favorite is Charles Dutton.
Charles
put-
Dutton.
Yeah, mine is Golden
Double.
Freddy Ichigo from Bleach Piece. Just like
You say Golden Freddy Ichigo?
from Bleach
From
Piece. Yeah,
Bleach.
you know, it's the whole like someone's like, oh yeah, I know anime, and then proceed to absolutely
Oh.
butcher.
Why did
everything.
you
Yeah,
use Golden Freddy?
I don't know.
How about late part 6? Johnny Duddle. That's my favorite character. The Johnny Duddle.
Johnny
Con-
Sins.
Combined version of Johnny
Gotcha.
5 and a Duddle.
I like the Paragon Mendicant. She's my favorite. Pretty baby.
Anyway, obviously the answer is Clover.
Oh yeah, he hasn't shown up in a
Close.
while. They haven't shown up in a while because like they're
A while.
A while. It's been quite a long time since Clover has appeared.
So this uses page 2399, but we're actually, you know. All right.
I was
I'm gonna stop the
wondering
recording.
how this